traditional marketing. Bakit? Kasi dati yung mga brands, yung mga company, sila yung advertise, di ba? Sa TV, sa radio, sa newspaper. Pag sinabi nila sila may pinakamagandang service, yun ang ipagsisigawan nila sa lahat ng channels. Tama ba? But today, so ayan, di ba pinapakita dyan, no? So dati, broadcast, may bagong sale, may bagong gadget, may bagong TV, ganito yung features, etc. So that's before. So but today, the new weapon is this. So what is this? It's a magnet. So before, it's a megaphone. Nowadays, it's a magnet. So before, companies and brands push information and yell and shout to our faces and ask us to buy from them. But today, we like it when we're drawn to brands, right? We like it when we're not being hard sold to. We like it when we're starting to I'm really curious about this trending kind of French fries or this trending kind of takoyaki. We like it when we're the ones researching about it and asking our friends, is it really worth trying? So the new tool now doesn't have the power, may not have the power of a megaphone anymore. It's a magnet. So how does it work? So now, if before they push information, now the challenge to companies, brands, and stores is how will you attract your customers? Instead of pushing and shouting and try our product, this is our sale, we are the best TV brand, we are the best mobile phone brand, we are the best telco. So instead of pushing all those hard sell messages, now brands are attracting customers. No? So we know it when somebody or a certain service or company is just trying to hard sell, right? Have you ever encountered yung kunyari may makulit na tawag sa'yo para bumili ng insurance or mag-sign up sa credit card? It's quite annoying, right? But when you're the one searching for the best credit card and then you're the one who called them, it feels better, right? Because I know that before I called you, I already researched about you and I expect you to give me the best service. Is that correct? So next. So now, generally, we call it outbound and inbound. The traditional marketing is outbound. It's more of push. The brand is talking. And then we used to have radio, leaflets, TV. And it's all about a sales cycle. So my goal is for you to buy. So my task is to sell. But today, it's more of inbound marketing, where brands and companies pull customers rather than push information to their customers. So it's all about listening, using blogs, social media, and it's about the buying cycle. Do you know what they say is the best business? The best business is repeat business. Is that correct? The best business is repeat business. Because for a certain guy to walk in front of my store, how many flyers, how many billboards, how many social media posts did it take me para finally ma-convince ko na yung walk-in customer na yun? And when they finally walk in, my challenge is to really give that customer a delightful experience so that I will just make them keep coming back, rather than investing in acquiring new customers again. Do you get what I'm saying? How many of you here also work aside from running their franchise business? You have a full-time work also? Yeah. So this actually also applies not just for your micro or small business, but even in the companies that you work full-time for. Right? Kuya, good evening. Okay, so how many of you here have a marketing background? Nobody? Oh, so I can tell you anything and you will believe me. Okay, this is just a joke. But this is serious. If anybody here is familiar with marketing, but maybe you're just shy. So this is what we call the marketing funnel. Pag uwi nyo, sabihin nyo sa anak nyo, marunong ako. Alam ko na kung ano yung marketing funnel. Okay, so marketing funnel is about the customer's journey. Like for example, I am about to buy my first car. It started with awareness. Maybe I saw a Facebook ad in my feed. And then now I'm considering it. So now I'm making a list of my top 3 preferences, or my top 3 choices for my first car. And then from those that I consider, finally I will convert to as a customer. So finally I will buy. And then if I'm really happy with my car, then probably the car that I'll buy for my parents, because I just buy cars. And the next car that I'll buy is probably the same brand. If it's Nissan, maybe it's still Nissan if I'm really happy about it. And eventually, if my friends ask me, oh, I'm about to buy a new car, what would you recommend? And then I'd recommend Nissan because that's the car that I'm very happy using. So the thing is, it's a funnel because not all people who saw your ad, who became aware of your product or service, will consider you. And not all those who considered you in their top 3 choices will actually convert to your customers. And not all of your customers will be loyal to your product or service. And not all of your loyal customers will necessarily advocate you or scream on their social media and rave about the service that you gave. So the challenge is to make it as efficient as possible. So ang daming business, ang daming aware sa product or service nila, pero walang nagko-consider sa kanila or walang nagko-convert into a customer. Are you familiar with that? Especially those who are in business to business. Ang dami mong leads, wala ka naman nako-close na sale. Diba? So this is the traditional marketing funnel. And the tools that we use for awareness are radio, print, TV, newspaper, magazine, etc. So are those obsolete already? What do you think? How many here think that TV, radio, newspaper, they're obsolete already? Nobody? That's true. It's not obsolete. Okay, people are still using it and it still works. It's just that nowadays, they're no longer the sole authority. Right? So now, it looks quite complicated, but remember, traditional marketing has a marketing funnel. Digital marketing now has a marketing bow tie. Are you familiar with the bow tie? Like the one that you put here in your waist. So, before, di ba, ang daming aware, tapos sana i-consider ka nila, sana bumili sila, sana maging loyal sila, sana maging advocate sila. Ngayon, gagawa ka pa rin ng campaigns para maging aware sila. And then eventually, mako-convert mo sila. If you give them a delightful experience, they'll be the one to refer and speak about you. And then they'll be the reason why more customers will be aware of you. So now, you're not just using TV commercials or radio ads. Your customers are actually your advocates, and your customers are leading you to new customers if you are really giving them a delightful experience. So the power has shifted from the brand to the customer. So to make it simple, ayan na yung bagong marketing bow tie. From awareness to consideration, hopefully they'll buy from you and then they'll be loyal to your service. And if they're really, really happy, they'll probably post about their experience in social media and be your advocates and recommend your French fries, your choco, to their classmates in school. What's the difference between loyalty and advocacy? What do you think? Is there a difference? My sister goes to a particular school, and then she shared with me that their professor asked them. So, their professor taught them about the difference between loyalty and advocacy. Yung loyalty daw, yung mula grade 1 hanggang grade 6, dito talaga ako mag-aaral. Kasi loyal ako eh. Loyal talaga ako sa school na to. Advocacy is, kapag may pinsan ka bang mag-grade 1 pa lang, i-recommend mo doon din siya mag-enroll. That's advocacy. Loyalty is you staying and keeping on using that service. Advocacy is actually even inviting others to experience the same. So, that's a question that you also ask yourself. Diba? When you purchase a particular product, are you just loyal to it because maybe you have no choice? Or are you so delighted with that product or service that you're actually willing to put your name on it and recommend it to your friend? Try mo yung spa na yun, promise, makakalimutan mong may buto ka. Okay, sige, next. Alright, so, speaking of which, let's play it. So I have a video here. Now we're saying that The power has shifted from the brand to the customer. I have a 40-second commercial here of a very familiar brand of fast food. And let's see how they portray their burger on TV ads. Sige, yan yung punchline eh. Yung video muna. Okay, so yan. That's a McDo commercial for their burger. So it's 40 seconds, so it's showing it. Is it like that when you buy a burger, the tomatoes and the lettuce bounce together with butter and they sprinkle on your face and all those sesames, and then you put up your tongue like that and like that, and then you see the burger, it's steaming, it's frying. Wow, and then you see it in your news feed and suddenly you're salivating. Oh wow! So that's how they show their burgers in their ads, right? Okay na ko yan. Naglaway na kami ng content. Sige, next tayo. So, before you spend, you invest in an ad agency to create a video like that for you, right? And then you put it out on the TV, or maybe you put it out on a billboard in EDSA. So you're the one talking, you're McDo. This is how our burger looks like, so come to our stores. But today, it's no longer just ABS-CBN and GMA and TV and radio that have that power to say what a brand is. Because you have these bloggers whom you don't know might actually be the one walking to your store this afternoon. Maybe that person or that little kid is a blogger, and that blogger blogs about commercial versus reality. And they got a screenshot of the burger in your tarpaulin or in your Facebook feed, and in reality they showed that it just looks that way. So who will you believe now? Is it the TV commercial or this vlogger who has thousands of subscribers? I would probably believe the vlogger, more so if the vlogger is your friend. So sabi nga, life is like McDonald's burger. Your expectations are always better than reality. So they made you expect something like that, but then in reality, it's not as fresh. It's not as big. Right? So before we move to my last few slides, I was asked to also share because I was told that you want to know more about your consumers and the consumer behavior and the buying patterns of your customers. Is that correct? So actually, I'd like to show you some screenshots, or I'd like to share you a report, but here's the secret. It's available online. Just go to Consumer Barometer of Google. All the data is there. But I'll just give you some snippets. Alright, so what did people do after completing their purchase? It's quite easy, but I'll share with you this one, the top part. What did people do online after completing their purchase? On the top part, they shared their purchase experience on social network. The yellow part, they posted a review, that's 14%. The blue part, 13%, they looked for help on how to use it or how to prepare it. And the last 3% looked for help on product usage or instruction or recipe. So again, 26%, the top one, the orange one, they share their purchase experience on social network. Next. One study says that 87% of committed customers will recommend a brand through liking and sharing on social media. So that means when their friends see that kind of interaction, that's actually free advertising for you. But that's if your service and your product is really good. Because on the other side of the coin, another research says, this is for Americans, not for Filipinos, but I think it's telling of general behavior. Americans tell an average of 15 people about a poor service experience versus 11 people they'll tell about a good experience. So, when I asked a while ago, sino dito yung walang Facebook, walang nagtaas? So I'm assuming lahat kayo may Facebook. Sino dito yung magpo-post kapag nairita siya sa isang bangko or sa kahit anong transaksyon na ginawa niya ng araw na yun? You would rant about it. Buddy, maybe you're keeping it as a secret, but actually your Facebook feed is very toxic already. So how many of you here would share if the customer service is really good? Buddy, you don't share on your social media? So you're a very shy crowd, but in reality, maybe later I'll check. I have a way. I'm a digital marketing expert. Next slide, please. Alright, another statistic. How did people first hear about the product or offer that they bought? The yellow part there, 22% said they first heard about the product or food or service that they bought from discussions with other people. That's 22%, the yellow part. 16%, the blue part, is pre-purchase research, and the green part is through advertising. So what is it saying? 16% lang yung nagko-consider ng advertising. People nowadays no longer refer to your advertising, they refer to what their friends are saying. Right? Another consumer barometer from Google Insights. What online sources did people use to make a purchase decision? The blue one, the longest line, that's search engine. So when I Google for fries nearby, or the best fries in U-Bell, or the cheapest fries, or whatever, when I Google for it, will I be able to find your branch or your business? So the blue part is search engine, and the green part, 30%, is social networks. Okay, so the rest, I invite you again to just look at the Consumer Barometer with Google. It's available online. Next, please. What were the deciding factors in choosing a local business? I'll just talk about the two longest lines. The top one, the orange one, is price. By the way, these data are specific to Filipino consumers. Alright, so this says that Filipinos are, the top one, the orange, the long line, that's price. 44% decide based on price. And then the next long line, the gray one, that's actually quality, 50%. So ang tindi ng mga Pinoy, no, naghahanap ng pinakamura, pero naghahanap ng pinaka-quality. Sa nakikita na. Next. So yun ang tanong, yung products pa natin, are they affordable and quality at the same time? So what online activities do people do on their smartphones at least weekly? Again, I'll just talk about the longest lines. The yellow one, 70% they visit social networks. And the green one, 56% they watch online videos. Right? And to be very specific, a little bit more specific, these data that I'm showing, that's Filipino consumer behavior. This next one is Filipino millennials. Right? So 90% of millennials go online daily. Young people don't just go online, they actually live online. Right? So 90% of them go online on a daily basis. And they catch up on social networks, they research and shop online, they watch videos. They live every day with their offline and online world intertwined. And also, these millennials, how many of you here are millennials? I hope if it's an age question, you will start to admit, or maybe no. Okay, so you don't like answering. So next, 55% of millennials use search engine to learn about products. So they don't necessarily go to your website per se. They actually just go to Google. And if Google leads them to the right site, then well and good. But if not, then we don't know what that site is. Okay? So regardless of the question, millennials look for the answer online, because Google is their first port of call. Okay? Next. Social media is their stage. 50% of millennials comment and like a friend's post at least daily. Okay, so I'll just zero into the food industry before I end. Are you familiar with this? Masarap ba? Right? Are you familiar with that? I enjoy reading Masarap Ba posts. Okay, so Masarap Ba is an anonymous Instagrammer who just randomly goes and tries different kinds of food, from restaurant, buffet, to street food. And then, he or she, I don't know, just simply says if it's masarap or not. Okay, so let's try it. This one is KFC's Chaka. Sabi niya, yung Chaco ng KFC, Chaka. Akala ko masarap, Chaka pala. Gusto kong chapakin yung katabi ko sa inis. Chiniinis ko, ubusin, hubus, kam sa kapal ng breading. Mala pork chop ng natinupi, yung maasim-asim na sauce, parang ketchup lang straight from the sachet. Yung corn kernels, parang hiniram sa chicken alaking, tas yung lettuce galing naman sa zinger. Tapos, pagbukas ko pa ng kahon, para siyang yung buwan, yung may pula-pula sa gilid. Sa susunod, original recipe na lang talaga at maraming gravy para di chayang ang chalapit. Okay. Hashtag masarap ba? So, hindi yan masarap para sa kanya. The next one, yung takoyaki ng takoyaki, masarap daw. Okay? Sabi nga naman dyan, sa unang tikim, una ko agad naisip, harmony. Hindi nga ako mahilig sa takoyaki in the first place, pero binago niya ang mundo ko. Sa dami kong natikman, from mura to mahalya, yung iba bagyo nga sa toppings, pero chaotic ang lasa. Ito, simple, ngunit generous sa real QP, bonito flakes na pinag-isang dibdib ng mahiwagang secret sauce na sa kanila ko lang na experience. Nasa pool nila yung formula, affordable, plus masarap, plus magandang location, plus masikasong staff, equals Pila Balde, blockbuster hit business, bigyan ng award. Masarap ba? So para sa kanya, masarap daw yung takoyaki. Okay, so how do you know? Maybe, meron na rin nagre-review sa masarap ba sa inyong fries at drinks. Okay? But masarap ba is already a known account. But actually, we all have the same power. Facebook recently made an update na hindi ka na lang magbibigay ng stars sa mga businesses na binibisita mo. They're actually already asking you for a recommendation. Next slide, please. Ayan. So kapag nanggaling ka sa isang lugar, tatanungin ka niya, do you recommend this place? So kung McDonald's. So yes or no. And then, transparent sila. If you visit the Facebook page of McDonald's, ipapakita nila kung ano yung actual rating ng mga tao. So let's say, for itong branch na to, 4 out of 5 based on the opinion of 49 people, or 149 people, or 600 people, para alam mo yung relativity ng rating. Kasi baka naman 5 out of 5 siya, pero 3 pa lang yung nag-review. Right? Next. So hindi lang siya basta, do you recommend? Tinatanong niya pa, kung na-recommend mo, bakit? Dahil ba maganda yung lugar, malinis, masarap yung food? Kung hindi mo nire-recommend, bakit? Dahil ba unfriendly yung staff? Masyadong maliliit yung portion? Or maingay, walang parking, etc. So hindi mo na itatype, pipiliin mo na lang. Right? So in summary, again, this is outbound and inbound marketing. Brands no longer just push information and keep talking. We all have to be listening to our customers. But I'm not saying that you should scrap outbound and just focus on inbound, because the sweet spot is still in the middle. Yes, you still do your TV ads. Yes, you still do your radio ads, your print ads. But here's my take home for you for tonight, since I only have 15 minutes and I'm already on the 18th minute. Alright, so your take home weapon from tonight, kanina di ba microphone? And then magnet. Is here's what I want to give you. Okay? You know, nothing has really changed. Even if I say before, nagkaroon ng funnel, ngayon, bow tie, but in reality, nothing beats these three. A is for be authentic. Now, even if you show this super nice solid video of a burger or fries or whatever, if it's not authentic, people will know faster. But if you say it's, alam niyo yung madami nga yung branch na chicken, yung masarap daw. What's the tagline? Hindi daw masyadong masarap pero pwede na. Nakikita niyo yun. Yung chicken franchise na yun. Diba? Uling roaster, diba? Hindi masyadong masarap pero pwede na. Authentic sila. Diba? Sinabi nila yung totoo, pero we're drawn to it. Diba? At one point, maybe 1, 3, 5, 10 of us fell for it. So be authentic, that's your weapon. If you're authentically giving great service, nothing and no one can take that away from you. Not even the best digital marketing tool or the most expensive ad agency. Next is excellent. I manage different social media pages of some of my clients as a digital marketing consultant. And I manage a certain page for OFWs. It's a remittance brand for OFWs. And we've never spent a single cent on boosting ads. But every month, their likes, their follows, their following, their comments grow by 5,000, 8,000, 3,000, 4,000. Because they give so excellent, very excellent service that when people go to their actual store, It's part of their teller's protocol to give a slip that shows their Facebook page and ask them to recommend. And Facebook reads that very well in their algorithm. So they're really, really excellent. So social media became their ally instead of their enemy. Alright? And last but not the least, again, be authentic, be excellent, and be engaging. Try to search for the hashtag sometimes of snack attack. Try to just Google it and see if somebody already reviewed your service or any of your other restaurants. And engage them. Have you heard of what happened with Bread Talk? Sorry, I don't have a screenshot of it. Have you heard about what happened? Somebody took a photo of a rat found in a Bread Talk branch. So, of course, it went viral on social media because, oh my gosh, it's such an expensive bread and rats are eating with me. And it went viral. And then, so your question now is, what will you do if your bread talk? Because it's real, people saw it. There was a rat running inside the thing where you use the flipping thing. So, it was like a fiasco. What will you do? But Bread Talk now became a case study for digital marketing because of it. Because their response was so excellent, people actually started buying more. Why? Because they're excellent. Their reply was, they owned up to it. So it took them, I think, 3 or 4 days before they replied. Because within those 3 or 4 days, they already, what do you call that? You call for like pesticide, these guys who remove ani and pets and rats in your store. Pest control, yan. So nagpa-pest control muna sila, ni-retrain nila yung staff nila on what to do when those things happen and how they should avoid those things from ever happening again. And that's what they posted in social media. They owned up to it, they apologized, and they said that these are the things that we did, and we promise to do our best to never let it happen again. And if it happens again, meron din silang measures. So hindi nila deny, hindi sila NA, no reaction. Paano naging NA? NR, sorry. Hindi sila nag-NR, hindi sila nag-no reaction. But they really responded to it. When you look at the Facebook page of Globe, ang daming bad recommendations, Globe sucks, ang bagal ng internet, etc. And nobody's responding. But actually, if their customer service responds with authenticity, nakakainis kasi yung reply na, we're working on it. Oh, and ano mo yun? What are you working on it? Oh, ano ngayon sa akin? Nag-improve ba yung signal? Diba? So, even if there are negative comments or reviews, if you actually engage them and respond with authenticity and sincerity, it can actually be a turnaround story for you. Because it's not a question of if it will happen, if it's a question of when it will happen. Because no business is perfect, right? So again, whether traditional, using the old marketing tools, or these new tools that are emerging, immersive reality, augmented reality, social media, whatever other things might emerge, if you're authentic, if you're excellent, and if you're engaging, you have nothing to worry about, right? So, I'd like to end with this. A brand is no longer what we tell the customer it is. It is what customers tell each other it is. Agree? Again, highlight on tell each other it is. I'm not saying stop talking about your brand kasi paano sila magiging aware na meron pala. Okay? But you're just the first mover. Eventually, it's all about their own conversations and not the things that you shout from the rooftops. Because everything, sorry, the magnifying glass please. Everything is about this. I attend the feast, that's how I know Toby also. And one of the things that Brother Bo Sanchez always says is that money is just a magnifier. If you're a greedy person, if you earn more money, you'll just be more and more and more greedy. If you're a generous person and you earn more money, you'll be able to serve more and love more people. So I think digital marketing tools is also like a magnifying glass. If you offer bad service, that bad service will be magnified like 10,000 times because of the number of friends and fans and followers of your customers. But if your service is really good, that service, that tiny business, if it's really good, will be magnified. Because people will help you, will advocate for you, so that more people will experience the kind of excellent service or delicious food that you provide. Right? So, if you want to go big time in the digital era, I recommend that you sharpen your axe. Not just learn about Facebook, what's the new algorithm of Google search, is it Snapchat already, should I move to WhatsApp, should I have a Viber account? Before all those things, especially if you're beginning in your business. A lot of you said you don't have more than one branch yet. Then it's time for us to sharpen our axe first. Alright? So that's about it for my part, actually. Thank you very much, and we can continue the conversation online. You can email me or message me on Facebook. I won't charge for the first 150 characters. But I'll be happy to engage you and also be authentic and say if I can do it for you or if I can answer it for you. But as much as I could, I'd be very, very happy to help. Thank you very much, and I wish you all the success for all the businesses that you're doing.